What about that sugar daddy lifestyle?
For a little while.
That treated you well.
It did. It was minimal effort and most profit. I did it for the lifestyle mostly. It was like for the experience. So like the first time I went to Vegas was with a very good friend that we spoke about earlier. I can't mention any names.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting this really fucking cool dude. I walked up. We were in the Sophia's strip club, and I was shit-faced. It was my first time in Vegas, and I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, can I hit your hookah? Because it was like a hookah lounge too. And he's like, yeah, it's double apple. I'm like, great, I love apple. I hit it and it tastes like black licorice. Well, this is what traditional God, I'm drawing a blank here. I can't even think of their ethnicity right now. Hang on.
Arabian?
Yes, that's the one. That's their traditional hookah to smoke, and it tastes like black licorice. And I was like, this tastes like shit. Shit. Well, he ended up coming and joining our table, had a great time. So-and-so who I came with ended up pissing all over our private booth, so we got kicked out.
Wait, they whipped out their dick?
Yeah, and he peed on my jacket, and he had to buy me a jacket the next day. Not the one who was smoking their hookah.
Yeah.
The one who I came with.
What did the restaurant do?
Kicked us out.
They pissed?
They were very upset. But I made connections with this guy, and I ended up, he was like, hey, come to Vegas whenever you want. This guy's an Arabic prince. Ended up meeting an Arabic prince. He's like, hey, you can come whenever the fuck you want. And I was like, all right, cool. Ended up hitting him up like maybe 3 months later. He'd get me a room at the Red Rock. I had my own private room to myself with a bitchin' fucking view. It was incredible. And so like we'd go out, he'd take me to places, we'd party, we'd have a great time. He was completely sober. All he did was smoke hookah. Like he'd been sober for like 6 years. So he was like, hey, let me show you around, we'll have a good time. He'd leave me at my room, go home, come pick me up the next day, and we'd go out again. And I did this a couple of times.
Dude, that sounds
so
great,
I wasn't in it for like, I don't know, the stereotype behind the whole sugar daddy thing is different than what I did it for. And I actually ended up meeting friends that just treated me really well. You know what I mean?
Dude, I feel like
the guy's like 32 and just has been inheriting this amazing money and was like, I want to show people a good time, and that's kind of what happened.
Why do you think sugar daddy has such a negative connotation? Like, I think it's because young girls fuck old men, and that's not a good thing to think about, you know? Like, why not fuck someone your own age? So you're saying it has to do with the money, the age, the lust for the money, for the sex?
I think the money for the sex exchange is the bad thing. I think like making connections with older people, like I have friends that are amazing friends that are 20 years older than me, just because they're really fucking cool people and great to be around, great conversationalists. I learned a lot from them, and I'm sure many other people have friends like that, but I think the whole sex exchange thing is shamed upon, and I'm not a big fan of it myself.
Because you weren't fucking.
No.
Okay. You literally just
I drew the line. Well, it's like I was capable of maintaining like a friendship, and a lot of people don't know how to work the friendship thing versus like I feel like I have to sleep with this person for money. You know what I mean? You have to have a good personality type to be able to become like a cool person and just maintain a friendship.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Dude, you know who would be interesting to have on here? Do you still talk to was it Isabel or Isabella? Isabel. She's about the sugar daddy game. She was dating the sugar daddy.
Isabel was...
She showed you the sugar daddy, bro.
Introduced me to this.
What?
So I met Isabel in Slow. She moved to Maryland on the East Coast for about 1.5 years. We maintained a tight-knit relationship the whole time. We talked every day. We're so connected. She moved to San Diego. And the first time that we ended up hanging out, we met halfway in LA. And we hung out with these people that she'd met, like these dudes. She's like, they're great, this and that. And I was like, okay. So I came, we had a fabulous fucking time. But we had a great time down there. It was super fun. And what's crazy, I ended up maintaining contact with these guys, met those guys in Vegas, had a great time with them. and like a casual thing, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can keep a casual thing going, and I don't know. Maybe she just wanted to get laid. That's fine too. I don't know.
Dude, yeah. Money is such like a big part of our culture that it's
crazy.
not like it seems like both parties are kind of winning. You know what I mean?
It is a win-win.
Like it sounds
win-win.
fucked up because it's like the premise is money and sex, but at the end of the day, it's almost like
as long as it's like compatible in both. I mean, if you like kicking it with a person, you actually like being around the person. It is a fair exchange.
Like, and the thing is, like, pick some of the like most fucking like honest, nice, great people you know. Like, what are they doing at the end of the day? They're fucking and they're making money every day. Like, that's their driving factor.
Absolutely.
You know? I don't think the sugar daddy thing is a negative connotative like thing to look at and be like ashamed of, or like the people that point fingers and they're like, oh my god, you bitch. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you've been a Vegas.
It's like I like to fuck and I also like money, so
you